Now we have begun.
You have begun. You are
Here
live.
it is. Live like bacon. Kevin. Footloose. People got some feet losing. All right. Ooh, I see a forehand in here. A nice. Nice. What is up? If you're watching this on playback, two things. One, Northeast Disc Golf Expo. We're going to be there. And we're going to be giving out free form reviews. Not only that, but us and Robbie C, we're going to be doing a coaching seminar? Seminar? It's not the right word. Where we're on stage and we're talking about these things. Lecture?
TED Talk.
Yeah, it's a TEDx, actually.
TEDx.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we've got us, Robbie, and Jesse all together doing content creator panel. That's what it's called.
There it is.
Yeah, except with two of us, it's not really a panel if there's only two people. So I guess it is kind of a lecture. So we're going to be doing those things there. So come on out. What is up, Randy? I am Bryce. Hello. I know Cam was here. Ooh. Thank you. Thanks, Grayson, for dropping that in the chat. All right, Cam, let me know that you're here, because we about to start at your farm. Bloop. Whoa. I think I need to... Oh, that's wrong. I'm too far. Oh, I'm not enough this way. Okay, let me move the mic over here so my setup looks like this. Boom. There you are. As long as you didn't send it vertical, Micah, we're good. I just actually stop reviewing people and we just take their money, and if it's vertical, we don't review it. Okay. Depending on what you're looking for here. Distance-wise. I get a lot of questions about, reaching down. And for some people, it really helps them, get this tilt in here. Man, I like Mikey's, tools over here better than mine right now. Just the color options. I'll have to remember to mess with it because I've used this in my private lessons too. So, but yeah. Boom. Yeah, some people go here and swing it up. Go low and swing it up. Boom. And since they go down, it helps them not scoop up. Whoa, that's a circle. Clear. Boom. Not scoop up into the pocket and then do this little woo thing. So working on not shifting my torso forward. So the big thing there about not shifting the torso forward is to truly not shift the torso forward, we want to make sure that you wait a bit longer for this foot to hit here. So what we want to see is plant first, and then this arm starts swinging forward. But right now what we see is, watch it here. It's a little bit off screen, but you can tell that the arm is swinging forward, and here's your full plant, right? So the goal, or the way for this to work. Hello, Rayla. Oh, she's caught in between two worlds. There's a guy swinging his arms around in here, and there's a vacuum out there. Disc. So, what is this? An Undertaker. Kind of like the feel of that. I do. I do like the feel of that. Okay. You gonna settle down, Rayla? Go ahead. Go in your bed. You don't have to go out of here. I know. But you do have to decide. Okay. So these shoulders, if we start swinging open before this plant happens, we don't have time for this to collect as a result of our brace, right? So what we don't want to do is we don't want to go rotate forward and then try to stop this at the right time and then continue rotating forward. What we want to do is have, well, we want this stop here, this shift, to slide the right arm forward. And if everything's shifting forward, it's not wanting to just open up, right? And so that's what we're trying to do, is not open up, right? The way to get that is with the shift. And there's no reason, if everything's shifting forward, for it to just like to have to stop it going around. So the true stop of the shoulders is actually a non-start of the shoulders, I guess, if that makes sense. So we want to shift here first, so we make sure that this is fully planted, and that stop there makes everything else want to continue going forward, right? There's no reason, if you're walking up, for any of your body just to want to stop moving forward. Object in motion stays in motion, all that good stuff, right? So when we step here, this stops and everything else moves forward, doesn't open. And so we shift, everything collects in the pocket, and then we throw out. So right now, you need to step and plant first, and then let the arm come forward, and then throw out. And then your shoulder won't open. Try to stop it mid-swing, and then continue opening. Ew, Discraft, he says. Your Shopify link isn't linked in the description, just FYI. I don't know if I can change that right now. Let me see. Stream settings. Oh, what is this shopping tab? Select products to display them in your products section. How's the behind view looking for 2 lanes, he asks. You go here. You go iPad. Oh, yeah. Good. I mean, you got plenty of space for all this to happen. Looks good to me. Woo. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I just have to worry about the shop stuff later. We got sick reactors in our shop if you haven't seen them already. They're somewhere. Is this plant related to... I mean, yes. Yanni talks about it. So do all the other coaches. But yes, just my what I kind of talk about. Now, I'm always changing the ways that I say things. To get you guys to do hello, new audio device. Oh, I don't know what that is, but don't do that. Okay. Yeah, always just changing the way that I explain things to try to give us the best chance of getting this stuff right. Yeah, my current, I'm about to scrap the like start here playlist pretty soon, just because what I think is important and the things that I think need to be worked on in what order and all that just change all the time. So sip club. Okay. But yes, if you saw that on Disc Golf Spin Doctor and you're like, oh, I need a brace better, the answer is yes. Well, am I tired or what? Okay. Any drill you think I should do to work on that timing, or just grind it out? Yeah, I've got it Instagram reel / YouTube short. I got bubbly water from Panera, but just make sure that you're fully planted first before you throw. Hey, Rayla. Just need some more over here. Oh. But yeah, you want to make sure that you step and fully plant and then swing, right? So, not to steal any of Yanni's thunder here, but he sent me a video. I'm like, dude, you got to make this into a video because the rhythm is just so simple. It's step, swing, step, swing, right? But it's got to be step, swing, fully plant, and then swing, not plant and swing. So that, and there are a million different ways to work on that. But also another thing you could work on is just throwing, good old sea bass, one leg throw, just there. I was throwing, I threw a shot this morning in our morning league like that. It's just like a 200 something, sub 300 foot hole. So just nice. Whatever you can do to plant first and then swing. Okay. My God. What's his name? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this... yeah, it happens. I went out and played around this morning, and it was not good. Let me tell you that. It was not good. Not happy, Bob. Not happy. Actually, I had a fun time. So, this is rotating open. This is rotating open. See this? How this is just twisting open. Hips twisting open. Back foot twisting open. Check out Simon's like left shoulder here, just to give you an idea. Look at these frames here. How his like left side stays in place, in place, in place. And then he goes to throw out, and there's a little bit of movement there. But to get from here into the pocket, it's not like this left side rotating forward. Right, so you should work on staying side on. Right, so if we're here and we think, let's get to here by, we're back and let me just put my left arm out here, and we rotate everything in, and it's this kind of turning into the pocket and then the throw out, we kind of mess up the rest of this deal, right? We have this here first, it's plant, and everything slides forward. Plant, everything slides forward, not get everything moving forward from back here. Right? Because then we're doing this whole twisting thing, and your leg ends up twisting and being back here. Whereas Simon's, we clearly see, look at where his leg's at during the throw. It's back behind his body. Right? Because when he threw, he went step, and because this all wants to continue shifting forward, it slides here, and he throws out, basically against this back leg. There, side on, it's a side on throw, basically. It's slide forward and throw out away from the body. And just look how crazy this is. So, watch from here, your left shoulder, your left side, tuk, tuk, tuk. Every frame going forward, tuk, 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 tuk. Right. Simon's. Here comes the plant first. Arms going forward, tuk, 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 tuk. Arms, left shoulders staying back. He's staying side on. He's not opening up. With this left side is not like coming all the way around here. Look at the left leg. And let's see when it stops moving forward and starts opening up here. Right? So for yours, here, it's twisting. You see this twist here with the foot? Instead of Simon's nice staying side on and letting this foot slide forward. See this slide forward move here? Yes, there's a, like, it twists a little bit and then he bends, but it's this slide, 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 slide. And now it starts coming around right here. Right, and look where Simon's at. Right, but when he's throwing, he's very side on. Yes, the body's opening up a little bit, but I think if you focus up on the opening, you miss the side on portion, the throwing out away from your body portion. Okay, I'm working on how to use my hips and how to throw without oat on a power grip. So when you say plant, I don't think I've ever had it explained to me in a way that makes sense to me. Oh. Plant means, oops, clear. All the weight goes there, and he's actually pushing back, resisting forward movement with this foot, pushing back off this leg. So that everything else is sliding forward, but not going past this foot. And a plant is just as simple as it sounds. It's just, you literally make sure that your foot is solidly planted on the ground, and you should be able to push off in the opposite direction. This would be a plant. Boom. So your heel needs to totally go in the ground against that. That's the plant. And the hard thing is waiting until the heel goes into the ground and the plant has been solidified before you throw. Some people, like Paul, plant more even-footed than having it go all the way to the heel, or like Vinny, where like the foot goes underneath, the shoe like goes underneath. But it is a plant. You should be able to push off in the opposite direction or push up. So like a cut or something, it's like a juke. Are you pushing off the back leg before the brace? No, you are not. You're moving sideways, going forward sideways, and then you actively stop here. And this foot wants to continue going this way. If he pushed off the back foot, his foot would come this way. Does the stopping of the momentum cause you to rotate? Yes, it does. I don't have time to go into all that here, or else I'd be here forever. But you need to stop without opening here. See how your foot twists? Tuk, tuk, tuk. Twist open because you're starting to rotate open. Here. Instead of staying here, letting this foot just slide forward and then stop. And then letting everything else slide forward. Can you walk without pushing the back leg? Hey, here's Yanni himself. Right. Yeah, of course, there's some, like, to get from leg to leg, there's some kind of force, or else you don't move forward, right? But what we're saying is that if you try to do too much with this back leg, you screw everything else up. All right? So both Yanni and I are on the same page of, and he'll correct me here if I'm wrong, which I don't think I am because we talks to each other. But if you try to do too much with this left side, you try to do too much with this hip, you try to do too much with this foot, it's like you start screwing everything up. Like here, like this is too much with the backside. This is twisting open up this front foot, spinning around of the shoulders to get into the pocket. Right. Yeah, it's very clear here. Simon's toe goes whoop and drags this way first. So it is. One last time here. And then I've got to move on because I got 23 form reviews. So I can't do this every form review. But it is stopping on this foot. And if you sat here and tried to go like this and you went here and try to push off of this foot, if I asked you to go here and push off of your right foot and push your pressure backwards, right? Boom, boom. You wouldn't even think about your left foot. It would naturally swing in this way, right? Which is the motion that we see with pros. It's because of this stop and this pushing back in this direction and keeping everything else loose, the left leg, the left arm, the right arm all slide forward because they want to continue moving forward because of the momentum that we had from the walk up. So just like when you smack your brakes in your car, your coffee wants to spill forward. Your head wants to come off the back of the chair. Everything wants to continue moving forward. Right? So there's no reason if it's all loose that it doesn't want to move forward. Right? So this is where I'm at currently with the teaching. And I think this is where Yanni's at as well. STEM brain like this idea. Mm-hmm. All right, who else is here? Absolutely. 2 form reviews done. 27 minutes in. I am Bryce. Let me find you, brother. Are you brown rice? I've got you. Magnumbo, you're next in. Dude, you are almost too tall for this space. So, on the back of that previous discussion, right, we don't want to twist into this last step. But the issue here is that during your X, your hips got backwards here. Right, so your hips are going to want to open so you can throw the disc roughly this way, right? If not, if you just go into a plant here, you're backwards. Right, so do you see yourself opening up during this last stride here? See the hips moving forward more and more? That's where they are now. They're opening. They're opening and you're swinging forward at the same time. Right, so you got, in my mind, there's kind of 2 choices here. Either you work from a standstill position and you work with the plant. Plant first, throw later, which we just talked about in great length, or you work on the X step and don't get here and get your hips backwards with the X step, right? Because from here, if you're going to plant first, it's a straight backwards plant, which is very hard to get the disc to go forward, obviously. I'm blowing minds here, right? So instead, just start side on, keep your hips side on, step, hips still side on, cross, hips still side on. Now swing back and coil, right? You wait until the weight's on your left foot. And now you're coiled, plant, and then throw. Right? So just starting side on, not even starting forward, so you don't have the temptation to just keep going back. Start side on, stay side on through your X. Now coil. Get the shoulders back. Plant. Then throw. Does that make sense, Bryce? Right. First option that I mentioned is just stand still, where you're side on and you're already here. Right. You step to your back foot, swing back, plant, then throw. What's up, Evan? Bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum. Is my elbow / right arm really off? I mean, you've certainly created enough space. The issue is you're going to be fighting your pocket collapsing from back here, because from here, your elbow is going to want to go around this way, right? So how can you keep the elbow out away from your body at this point here when it needs to, when it's fighting to get tight, right? So in other words, I think this is an issue that you look at after you get side on. Yes, sir. Okay. Who did I say was Magnumbo? This guy, man, it's always cold where he's at. So one thing that I struggle to explain here is how this looks like he's turning backwards and then gonna turn forward like that. Everything feels like it's just like rotating back around the whole time. You see that? And that makes me feel like when you go back around the whole time like that and you load the whole time like that, it feels like it's almost inevitable that you're going to unload like that. Yeah, see the foot opening up here. The hips are a little bit wide. Shoulders unloading just. Right, hips end up rotating a little too far before the hit. Yeah, I'm going to try to describe a feel here, which is like a mindset thing. I'll go back here. It feels like during the walk up, if I go straight arm here, it feels very like the whole time it's just slowly going back like this. And then when you get here, it's slowly going forward like this, right? And you're just trying to go like here, there, right? So versus we're moving forward here, and then we have this kind of this load, which is almost like almost more of like pushing everything backwards. Right, we are twisting and we're loading the core here. Right, but it's not this big sweeping wide motion here. It's the core gets loaded, so we're moving this way, the core gets loaded backwards here, and then we hit, and now everything goes and shifts forward on the unload, instead of everything twists open on the unload. Should be the shift forward, and then the throw away from the body here, and then it can finish opening up after that. So the body moves forward and twists inside of that. The body does not primarily twist and untwist. Right? The feet aren't going in this twisting motion like this. The feet are going forward. Every step is forward. Forward step. Forward, forward, forward. And we coil inside of that. So it's a very tight coil, very tight rotation that's isolated basically here, not here. And then this stop pulls everything forward, and then we throw out. Does that visual make sense? Am I maybe doing too much twisting with my hips during my run-up? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Is we want to stay basically as straight as possible in our minds before the coil. Right? And there are the eagles that can get, back here with the hips and still get a solid plant and shift everything forward. But for most of us mere mortals, sliding forward with every step and just having the body swing backwards is better than the hips, than thinking about the hips kind of rotating back and then the hips rotating forward, right? But if we think about the hips rotating forward instead of, boom, the foot stopping, that means that we want them to rotate backwards first. Just feels a bit strange trying to slide more forward and less hip rotating. Yeah, plus it doesn't just feel strange, but it looks to our mind like it's easier for our mind to see the twists that pros do than the shifts, right? So we're easily entranced by the rotational aspects that for sure happen, but the way that our mind has to think about it is more laterally, I think, for most people. Pivot point on the backhand power grip. I think the big thing is keeping it off the hand. Well, where's my camera? Keeping it off the hand like this, right, will naturally pull it forward in the hand, like it pivots inside of space, right? If it's all the way, if you have it all the way in the back of the hand, all the way in the back of the hand here, hopefully you can see the white from the pressure, you're not going to get a pivot point, right? So pull it off the hand a bit, and now you've got room for a pivot. I think Yanni has left us. G-Shrock. Oh, by the way, Greg, we had to do something, like we had to screen record your video so that we could get it in here, because whatever format or file or however you uploaded it did not like that. I've seen that happen with Google phones. Something weird. Anyways, I don't know what it is. But if you want to try sending in a different format next time, that'd be sweet. Is this an actual bird? What is this? It's just like a... What? It's a fake stork? Or is that a stick in the foreground and a sliver of rock in the background? No way. Looks like a stork. Oh, the snow fooled me for a second. What's up? It made me think that you planted earlier than you did. Here's the plant. It's like old school Paul upswing with the right arm. Yeah, it's just a touch early, and it's just a touch early. And how do I say this? Not resisted enough. Let me just demonstrate. Your hips? When? During the walk-up? You did a fine job in the walk-up, I think. Yeah, I'm on to something new. So, you're already swinging forward into the plant, right? So you're rotating forward into, when you start swinging your arm forward, you're already rotating into the plant, and then you get 2 over this front foot. You come over the top of this front foot, and now you're here when you're trying to throw, right? Very tight, right? Compared to Simon, which would be, he throws into all of this space. He gets this thing far out away from his chest here, right? And also, he's got enough resistance from this front foot to keep his body back behind it throughout the throw. Is it bad to end up with the upper body tilted targetward at release? Yes. Yeah, so that's what we're talking about now. Like pros seem like they're an upside down Y shape. Yeah. Yep. This kind of, we're inside this balance here, or if you want to look at like an upside down Y. Whoop. Here. There. Right, so this all is a result of throwing a little bit earlier than your plant was ready to do. You gotta go plant, and then we throw kind of out in front of our body here, away this way. And this plant needs to be solid enough, and you have to work on getting enough pressure off of this plant, pushing back this way, that it keeps your upper body from just blowing past, right? So we don't want just the weight on the foot here, so we don't want to walk up and have this kind of, ooh, it's just blowing over this foot, and it's just a matter of time before we get over this foot. This thing really needs to, if there was like a scale over here, it would show with pros if they were throwing, depending on how far they were throwing, but it wouldn't just show their body weight, it would show their body weight like, I don't know, plus an additional 100 pounds or something crazy, right? It would be boom, because they would be pushing back off of this foot against that. For most of us, it would show, 200 or whatever your weight is, right? 160, right? And then you're just like blowing past it instead of really going boom, planting hard and pushing against that to keep your body back behind, just like if I were to do this. This is obviously me pushing back against that. So it here and then throw out so that your chest doesn't continue coming forward, right? So we don't step and open. For timing, should it feel like I plant first then throw? Absolutely. Whoops. Almost destroyed Mikey's desk thing here. But yeah, it needs to be step and you're still back, right? Or even since you have this little like swing up here where it's going here, it needs to be step and then there's still this like swing up and then throw. So you should be fully planted first to where it's step, throw, full plant, throw, full plant, throw. That way you're not opening up as you step. So really get that thing planted in there, holding your body back. Choo, choo. Delete. Okay, this looks all too familiar. Josh, can I be next? Or is there someone else? Christopher Starre. Woo. I've got you. Whoa. What are all these piles here? Are these ant piles? Say it ain't so. What are these? Are these moles? And you guys have a net just set up to this, next to this practice basket? Rabbits? What? Almost. Good coil here. So this is the big timing piece, right? This. Twist, planting and swinging together. Right, so let's see where his throw gets. By the time here's the plant. So you've got to wait that much longer. Boom, before you throw. This is when the arm should start swinging forward here, instead of here. Mm-hmm. Yep. This is the issue. The step and swing. We want to step, then swing. So when we coil here, boom, boom, coil, and then let the plant happen. And go. Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to be hearing this a lot today. Good practice here is side on. One leg, chest this way. Free hanging back foot. The weight's fully on the right. And then throw. The left foot's going to be a counterweight for you. So it's good to have it behind. Wherever the hand's going out, this left foot's going to be basically opposite on our clock face here. So I've got about 1 and 7. And then let's see if we can get it with a step, backswing, plant, throw. Plant, throw. And then with your walk up, slowly, here, plant, pause. Sorry, I'm off the carpet a little bit. Plant, pause, throw. And then eventually work back up into real time. But the setup looks decent. You don't get too far back. Got good coil. You've got enough tilt. Yeah. Questions on the practice before you jet? Spinning too much, or is it all right? Spinning where? I think so, depending on what you're looking at. And you're spinning because you're not planted first. Right. So you're going from here, and you're trying not to spin open, as evidenced by your left arm, like sweeping back, but you are, because the plant's not happening first. You can spin as much as you want while you're on that right foot, basically. So, yeah, the release point, you'll feel the different, like if you stood up where you were at right now, and you stood on your right foot, that first drill, and you stayed this way and through, you would feel the hit point and where that's supposed to be. because you're going to want to do more. And your body's not going to be able to do more. So you're going to have to like send your hand out to the release. So it's just tied up on that front foot. So it's going to force you to stay kind of closed, and the only thing left to go is basically your hand at that point. Mm-hmm. Kylie. I don't have a Kylie down here. Oh, Christopher. Wait, what? Christopher. Is Kylie your username? Let me go with Max while we wait for Kylie. Oh, she is my daughter. Oh, wait. What? So was it different videos? Didn't I already review? Kylie's here. Christopher. Oh, okay. Let me do that then. Got it. Got it. The world's smallest T-pads. Oh, yay. She's teeing off from a side. Thank goodness. Kylie looks like she could be the third Mondahano sister. I thought Maria Oliva at first, but the more I looked, the more Mondahano it got. And then I thought, is it like Maria Oliva and Mondahano, like either of the Mondahanos and Kona Panis mixed together? The facial structure is got a little Kona in it. So my vote here would be to quiet down the footwork a bit so that we're not in this kind of leaned back position here. Oh, Robbie, don't let me forget. I need to talk to you about stuffs. Pew! Yeah, so... Okay. I've not reviewed your submission yet. So, during the walk-up, I think the first thing you need to do is be able to be balanced every step. Right? So, I'm not a fan of this kind of like twist back here, because this moment right here feels unbalanced to me. It is unbalanced. And then if we're gonna, you have like this arm swing that's happening forward during your X while you're trying to twist backwards. It's like, use this pump that you have to help keep your right hip forward, right? So pump the right hip forward during this X step here to keep it from going back, right? Because your pump and your cross are a little disjointed. So side on, pump and keep this moving forward towards the target, which also helps maintain balance here. And then coil. So slower, a bit more deliberate. Use your pump to go forward there to keep this right hip moving forward, and then coil. Right? And hopefully being side on like that will make it a bit easier for you to plant without opening up, because you get in this position right here. If we go forward a couple more frames. Boop, 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 boop. Right. So we get from here and we go open, boom, and we're here. Instead, out of this left step, we just want to move the foot forward and plant it. So I think by being more forward here, by utilizing that pump, going a little bit slower, now we can wait for a nice full plant before we swing. Yeah. That will inevitably happen. Absolutely. I was glad to see that had new and different problems. Yes, dude. Chupacabra is the way. They seriously need to sponsor me for one disc. I'm a Lone Star guy now. Chupacabra. They could get me on the Nimitz or whatever it's called. If they wanted to. Okay, who was next? Someone else said they were here. Oh, yeah. Max P. More like Max D. Yeah. This is the way. Oh, I definitely want to put some OT stamps on some Chupacabras. Okay, so first thing. Yeah, I should have seen at least 68. This is the way in chats. I don't know why I didn't. See you in 3 weeks. Talk to you sooner. So during this step here, we need to let these... Whoa, that's the wrong arrow. Who pays this guy? We need to let the shoulders keep rotating back. You see how it kind of stop here? Boop, 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 boop. And the arm keeps moving, so it feels like the shoulders are moving, but they're not. See how the shoulders are staying there the whole time? And now you run out of space. So let the shoulders continue coiling from here all the way to here when you're planted. Pew. Pew, 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 pew. Cha. Right, so during this, once this left foot goes down, it's game time in getting the shoulders rotated back. Or getting this right shoulder rotated back and this left shoulder rotated forward. Right, so that's thing number one. Let it keep going for as long as the step is. And the step should be monitored by how fast you're walking up. Right. So you're going to go coil, and then plant, and then throw. So we're going to go walk up, boom, boom, start coiling. You can do it when you practice this. It's good to have something that you can see. Like I can obviously see how much I coil by looking in a computer monitor here. And I want to see all the way, I want to see my right shoulder blade. There, good to go. So we practice max coil. And I'm actually sliding my foot. So I'm sliding my foot forward and stretching. There like that. It's not like this, but it's a centered coil. And then plant, and then throw. How much is your off arm helping the coil? For me personally, if like it's helpful for me to think about taking this elbow and punching somebody here or elbowing somebody behind me, right? So it's very helpful for me personally. But whichever one gets you doing it. Looks like off elbow kind of drives back. Yeah, it drives like, yeah. I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to describe. Yep, keep it going and then plant. Yeah, you're running a bit out of space here. Keep coiling those shoulders, then plant, then throw. This is the way. Let's see. Somebody said that they just got here. Yes. Oh, that's why. I was like, Kona Monty, how does Alexa Mandujano and how does Kona Panis and how does Maria Oliva equal Kona Monty? Should it be like Kona Monduliva or something? But that's right, she got married. That's what you were trying to tell me. Okay, who this person be? Oh yeah, King of Queens. Oh yes, Laura, you'll be up very shortly. Oh wait, Krev, you're in here. Krev's been here the whole time. You didn't tell me. So King of Queens, then we'll go Krev, then we'll go Cyanidicus. Cyanidicus. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's practice swing. Okay. Let's see if it happens in his real swing too. The walk up keeps like twisting further and further. Like the walk up here is like, okay, this foot's already twisting back. Right, so it's trying to like, the walk up goes from being like this way or wanting to be that way to now here it wants to be like further this way to finally it's here. So first thing, I'd like to see more bend in the waist. I'd like to see more tilt. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just run out of space here. Yeah. But you do a good job. Yeah, you just run out of space at this point because you walk across your line. Like you're too staggered here. And you start kind of like this way, which would have been like an okay walk up line. Right, so if I'm walking towards you, ooh, lefty, okay. If we're here and I'm walking this way, all of my steps should basically be step, X step, final step, right? So each step shouldn't take me like step and X step and final step. It shouldn't take me more and more off target. It should essentially walk directly up this way. So it would be step, my cross step is going to be towards you, and now my coil step, and then you throw. So you're going to have a minimal, let me go a little bit further back. Step, cross step, load step, right? Do I have a a stagger? Yes, I have a stagger, but it's not over here. The thing that this stagger is helping you do, though, is it's making you not open up your hips too much, right? It's kind of forcing those to be closed, but not worth cutting across your, not worth having to cut across your body and collapse your pocket to get back onto your line. So you should just work on these directional side steps basically here. That's what it would look like. Then we just throw an X step in. Boom. Okay? And then we throw side step, X step, and we actually coil. And now we're good. Add to that the bend in the waist. And now we've got this space here for the disc. And we don't have to drag our elbow across and collapse our pocket to get back online. Yeah. The software is no longer Coach's Eye. The software is on form. Coach's Eye was discontinued. Oh man, I got so excited I saw this. I was like, yes, we're down to the last 2 rows. Okay, and then it was Krev. And now for our feature presentation. I know this field. I know this field. Whoa. Unnecessarily slow. Pew. Grayson, I don't like seeing an elbow sleeve. What's up with that? Grayson, I don't like the elbow sleeve. He was too young. Here's full plant. And we're swinging forward. Okay. So we've got to learn to get in the pocket because of the weight shift. Right now, there's a bit of, you're kind of here, and your left hand comes in, and you're kind of pulling the whole box forward like this. It's kind of like pick it up and pull the whole thing forward. Instead, we want to get in the pocket because of this stop that we had mentioned earlier. And if you keep your arm loose enough and back like this first, try this, boom, and then go back, right? Here, back. And just like your left foot naturally slides forward, the right arm is going to slide forward, right? So if we go a little bit back, I'm not trying to go all the way back. Let me square up with you guys better. Boom. Right. If you keep this back, I want to see in that this disc, if we keep the elbow out away from us, this arm's almost on like a little slidey door. Like little tracks there. She's a runner, she's a track star. And then when you push off and go back here, you should feel that this whole thing, after you step, goes whoop and goes forward when you change direction. Notice it's not happening at the same time. We can make it happen at the same time, which is what most of us do. We go boom, and we pull this thing forward into the pocket. But it truly is passive into the pocket, right? If we wait long enough. So if I keep this back here and I go boop, boop, this is going to automatically come forward into the pocket. So the practice is here and then it collects, right? So slow motion, it's step and then it goes woo and slides in the pocket on its own. It all just kind of whoop. And then we throw out, right? And the left arm is going to collect as well. You don't want left arm going and forcing this. If the left arm's moving and helping rotate everything forwards, then you've got a problem. The left arm will move in, and part of the left arm will move in prior to the weight shift, right? Part of it's going to go, and the hand's going to drop. But really, this stop finishes pulling the left arm in tight. And then we go, whatcha, out. All right, so you got to wait a little bit more and trust that this is going to pull this in. So I'm over-rotating. Yes. Yes to both. Over-rotating and rotating too early. So there should be no upper body rotation in your mind to get from back here and into the pocket. Like if you look from behind view, even if we're curled all the way back like this, when we step, it's going to want to just slide forward. Right? So we don't need the rotation for it to slide forward into the pocket. And then we throw out, and then the rotation happens. All right, here it goes. Boom. And again, I'm going to point out Simon's back shoulder once we see it right here. Okay, so his plant goes down here. Boom, plants down. Now, just check out the back shoulder. Watch how it stays. Bunk, bunk, bunk. In the same place here. I'm watching this little, like, its relation to the shadow here, because the camera's not moving, obviously. So, bunk, 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 bunk. Right, so he's not pulling this back shoulder forward. And now he goes to throw out, and when he throws out with his right arm, you know, the shoulder comes forward just a little bit. But watch your shoulder from when it starts going. Tuk, 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 tuk. Every frame, tuk, 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 rotating forward, 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 forward. Until you're too far forward during your throw out because you rotate it forward. And now you've got tiny space here. That wasn't correct. Tiny space here. And he's got huge space here. Whoa. So a mental cue would be to focus on a more lateral movement versus rotational. Yes, like you just need to be side on. So weight shift, side onto the target, let everything slide forward, and then just throw out, basically, in front of your body. And then let whatever rotation happens happen. That's my vote. Hello, Swamp Thing. Finally, a forehand. So this practice right here, I actually hate. Because you're moving your arm here and your hips are already totally forward. So the only way to get the disc from here to here is all arm. So I don't know what you actually do in your throw, but you're getting negative reps and incorrect reps during your practice. The pros, yes, a lot of the pros hold the disc with two hands on backhand and on the forehand side. They get that arm across on the forehand. But we might talk about that in a minute. See, this motion is all pushing with the arm. Boom. So let's see what happens here. Okay, he's going with the Timmy grip. Okay, it's turned away a little bit more. Here. This motion is weird. Yeah. Trapped on the back leg. I've got you, brother. Let's just rebuild it. So the motion for the forehand is this motion. It's here. It's not this scooping motion. So with the disc, it is here, kind of sliding across the table or something like that. Not here, first off. That's thing number one. Other thing is you should probably nix the walk up for a second. Let me make sure I'm squared up with you guys. Your right foot should be pointed, if my target's over this way, should be pointed basically 90 degrees off. We've got this here. Elbows out in front of the body. Wrist will be back. Off arm will be punched here and then bent. And this front foot should be pointed forwards a little bit. It doesn't need to be all the way forward, just mostly forward. And now from here to here, I want to see you get from there to there without moving your arm at all. I want to see this. Can you move the entire unit forward like this? Right? This way, we're not. If we have this foot too far forward, so if we have it all the way forward, your hips are already open, your chest is already open, you will have to arm it. to get from back here. That's going to make for a very short disc golf career. Instead of off here, now my hips and my shoulders are away from the target. And I can rotate like this. And then at the end of this, we just use that little motion that I talked about here. Right? The elbow doesn't have to stay tight the whole time. I'm definitely not saying that. But we need to have everything else driving this instead of the hand going first. But if I load or keep my elbow low on loading state, it will pop my shoulder out of socket. That is an interesting position to put me in, because it's truly this move. I can't speak anything about your shoulder. It's here. If you need to throw forehands and it needs to be higher up, I mean, you're going to bend. This is still going to be a pretty high arm slot, right? If this is a problem for you, right, and you're here, then maybe try up in this higher arm slot here, bent over, and now we've got this kind of Anheuser motion, but you're still going to need to be bent no matter what, and it's still the same idea, but then chopped forehands become the option. You're going to have this arm down low for a hyzer forehand for sure, and so maybe the chop forehand becomes viable for you. So we need, I mean, you can have it up. If you can have it up here, you can throw the forehand here. Get good bend. And it's still the same motion though. How do I download a clip for analysis? That goes through our Patreon, which is in the description below. Yeah, but the same thing needs to happen. It's always this movement here, or like this movement here, right? And then how we aim that pop determines the angle that we throw. So, but it's always this range of motion. It's not like you're using a different range of, you're not like doing something with your wrist different for hyzers and stuff like that. So you still need, yeah, you can do the kind of the Paul Macbeth. Have it up, but it still needs to be moved from that hip. You still need to get that prep the same. It's all the same. The arm slot's just a little bit different, and you still need to bend a good bit over at the waist. Give it a go. Yeah, if you can throw a forehand roller, if that like doesn't bother your arm, then you should be able to bend over at the waist and throw an Anheuser. All right, who else is here? Let me know if I got your phone on iPad. I'm here, he says. I see that. I see that. Whoa. How satisfying. Smash the basket. I want to see it. Oh. So the basket's not close enough to the net to go A little less satisfying. Okay, now I've got to watch the actual throw. It's an amazing training room, isn't it? Your biggest issue for sure is grip. I love that I have this view because you can see that this thing is gripped like this. It's just like, pew. Yeah, it's moving around. Hold up. Hold up just 1 minute. Okay, I need to see it real time. He doesn't like swing it into. That is wild. If ever there were a too loose, this is it. If ever. Okay. Or let's do this first. All right, dude. Get this thing in the front of your hand. And hold it there. I actually want you to be a little more. Hey, what is today's date? February 28th. Firm, dare I say. Right. Get it up in this grip and hold it here. It's going to this weird, like, it's going out, in, and out in these weird moments. I don't even know if you like noticed that you were doing this, but you have it and it's like popping literally like here, out there, where none of it is touching like the back of your hand. It's just all fingertips is coming in. So get this thing up, depending on what kind of throw you want. Controlled shot would be all the way back in your hand, like towards the heel of your hand, and then grip, or get it pinched up towards the front of your hand, the little meaty part here. Right, get it up there. So that's the first thing. Pay attention to the grip. Don't let it push out of the hand like this. Second thing, you need to keep coiling during your X step. I can see that your shoulder stops coming backwards here, while your hand does its thing. See that? You've got all this room where it's like you're here, and it's here, and then all this move happens. Keep pushing this shoulder back. There. While you're waiting for this stop to happen on the front foot. Keep coiling. Get this back shoulder more towards the target. Get this lead shoulder more away from the target while you wait. That grip thing is for sure the most important deal. The fact that, like, yeah, I can't see, but it could very well be that, like, you flex and try to hold on for dear life. Yeah, dude, just maybe if like you can't get rid of it that easily, maybe it's like just getting this thing all the way back in the hand and just throw like a grip that would be control shot. So get it all the way there and then just be mindful of it the whole throw. And then learn after that how to get into like more space again. The low elbow is because he has his palm like up. Right? If your palm is up like this, when you go to pull in, your elbow's going to drop. Like that. Right? Grip it. And that's where that like little bit of angle back here is helpful. A little bit of angle back here. A little bit of angle back here showing the bottom of the disc. But it could have developed because like it was getting caught on your chest or something. And you like didn't like that, so you pulled it through this way where it took up the least amount of space to get through because the elbow was dropping. That's the crazy thing is like how these things form is just insane. It is a hangboard. It's Mikey's. It's obviously mine. I can hang for 5 seconds. Working up to 5.5. Okay. Who's next? I need to get somebody off my screen so that I can be in 2 rows. The last 2 rows. Absolutely. That would be interesting to figure out how you got there. I hear Brawl Stars in the background. Should one twist his palm down? Yeah, the palm should be slightly down on the take back and then inside the pocket as well. So palm slightly down, and then flip the script. Roll that sucker nose down. Mikey climbing V6. I don't think he's in V6 shape right now. I could be wrong. Okay, I'm going to take that as nobody else is on right now. And I need to start putting timestamps and peeps in here. Boom. So where are we at? 150. Oh, you saved me from doing it. Ben. What's your name on your Ben? Tell me it's Hoonbear. Or Jalapeno. Oh, I do have you. I'm not on. Oh, you're on, but you're not on. Okay, here we go. I've got you. John. You have misunderstood the assignment. I've got you, brother. I'd like to see, instead of like falling this way, because now your body's going to be trying to catch your weight the whole time. I'd like to see us be a little more balanced here. It means we're going to kind of right the ship on these hips and get them either level or a little bit up. And then not pulling forward with the head here. Just going to open you up a little bit early. Or a little far, I should say. Okay, so these two things. So, first thing is we need to practice balance. Every step that you take during your X step, you need to be able to prove your balance. Right? Easier to start from the end, I think, and just get a plant here and throw from this right foot, this planted right foot, and throw here. Throw out. That's if I'm throwing like this direction over here. Right? So we can work from the end, and then you can take a step into it. But if you're going to work from the back, I would work from the back like this. Just making sure every step, if I go left step, right step, I'm obviously balanced here. I could wait forever before I had to take my next step. Boom. Right step, I'm balanced. This is where you're having a little bit of issue here, is you're going over here instead of just staying more or less upright. And then when we take this next step, we need to maintain that balance here. Right. Easy way to practice that, I think, is slide this foot behind. Boom. We're in this solid base here. Right, now proving balance, and now coil. Boom. I don't know that your steps are too long. It actually looks like your head gets out ahead of your steps. The length of the step is going to be determined by how much you're trying to put into the shot. Right. For example, if I'm walking, my steps are much shorter than if I'm running. So it's more important that you keep the balance principle. And if I'm running, I want to make sure that I'm, for example, if I walk, I don't want my body to go past this leg here, right? Just walking, right? Same thing running, same principle. I don't want to run like and take a huge here. It's off balance all the same, right? It's just harder to keep your balance running than it is walking. So go as slow as you need to make sure that you can prove the balance here. That's the important thing. We want to make sure that our head stays inside the frame of our body, not there, for example. It's outside of this back leg. I'll go a little sideways here so you can see. Right, and then I don't want to throw by pulling this head here. So I would go perhaps just to a 3-step walk up and go right step, which is a side step, show your balance. My right hip's going to continue to be forward to where I'm throwing during this X step. Boom, showing balance, and then coil. Right. And then once we coil, then we're going to plant. And from here, we're going to throw from this balanced, centered position. So here, we're planted and we're centered. And then we can throw. Right, you could also just start at the end here and stand on this right leg and let this left leg be free hanging. and throw from this balanced position. But we want to make sure that when we do this final step, it's not open up like this. Like that. It just slides forward. And we can throw from this right leg. Like, for example, you couldn't stop here. All right, if you tried to stop here, you just fall over. So now your left leg has to go catch you instead of you being able to step whenever you want to. And because of that, now you're behind. So, again, it's all about balance. All about balance during this walk up. You can throw further from a balanced position. That's mission 1. Balance. Oops. Will not escape the balance principle. It'll catch you in the end. You'll run into a form wall. Yeah, brother. Yeah, we need to get like a video up. I was thinking we just need like a simple video with the steps, how to work on them, and just like that balance principle. It's a pretty big part of clinics that I run. I set out the disc retriever, and then we just like spend time walking and working on walking. And you'll spend so much time just around your house, in your kitchen, just practicing this stupid footwork. That will make your life way easier in the end. All right. Who else is here? Because I'm about to start taking names. Right. Yeah, you just want to bring like as much speed into it as possible. Just like, let me just get there. Ugh. So we've got like things that we got to get the disc back, right? And we got to walk up fast. And there's like a lot of harmony that needs to happen there. I had this memory. It's funny. I was not good at sports until late in life, in my current life. Obviously, there's a potential that I have a lot of life left to go, but I wasn't athletic until I was like probably 20 or something like that. Played a lot of sports, but it didn't all like, I didn't understand it. And I remember playing softball one time and like swinging and making contact and like trying to just sprint right after that. And I just like, I tried to run too fast and I like tripped and just fell right there. It was like, dang, I would have got the first, except I went and like fell. It was so embarrassing. But honestly, I didn't even expect to hit the ball. So when I hit it, it was like, gotta go. I was like trying to think too far ahead. My brain got ahead of my feet. Yep. And I can crush a softball. I think 3-finger for grip is good. I think 4-finger grip is good. Just depends on the person. But is it like, oh, I think everybody needs to throw 3-finger grip to throw further? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to take the timestamp 2:02. Hello? Okay, I'll just use my phone. I'll just use my phone to update Discord. No, I cannot pull from a Central Coast video. It's illegal to download YouTube stuff. Plus, that would be a lot of work. Okay, 2:03 probably by this point. Yep. And let's see. Go through Fred's stuff. Oh, I was just gonna pull yours up, brother. Because I was gonna do it because I ran out of people that were on. Here we are. You'll remind me of what we worked on in person here. In person there. Simulation. Is this even real? Oh, that hat, by the way, has showed up in a bunch of videos, but I used it all down the rest of Florida. So you see a little pocket collapse here, but the reason why is because this chest is just turning forward the whole time. So your elbow is going like around your body here. It's basically down to this stop motion for the most part, where you're here and you're rotating everything forward instead of being here, and letting this brace slide the elbow forward instead of rotating the elbow around, right? So if I'm throwing this way and I'm here, I can either open up the shoulders and open up the chest and pull it along like this way here, like this, or it can go forward and drive forward. And the reason that it drives forward is because we stop on this foot first, and that foot brings it forward into the pocket. here. And then you throw out and away. And you don't have to worry about the elbow because we're throwing this way. Because it's slid here, we don't have to worry about the elbow sneaking in front of us and getting too tight to the body like this. So it needs to be your coil, the stop on the front foot, and then the disc slides forward, right? The elbow slides forward. And then out. Yeah. So as long as we're trying to like rotate forward, we'll be fighting that collapsing pocket. Do 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 do. Yeah, and when we do that, the head doesn't feel like it needs to go forward as well either, right? It's just we're here, boom, and the elbow. Try everything sliding forward, post weight shift, and the head just is going to stay here. Doesn't need to go forward like that. This is a opening move. Haha, chest. And then out. And then it comes around. This is why some people say lead with the elbow. Or elbow down the door. It's like they're trying to get you to have everything slide forward. Yes. .400 is always a nice milestone. Yes. I can only imagine what the 500 milestone feels like. That's all I could do is imagine. Bear. You. Only you. The fam's talking about making the Florida trip a yearly thing, maybe. Went really well. You guys started it off right, so made the rest of it very, very easy to enjoy. Huh. Waiting. So we need to stop twisting this left arm here in this left knee. Just left arm twisting forward. See how this left side's just a little too forward because we twisted early on. And there's no shot for this left hand to hang back. So, again, very similar. I see. This is a Uganda fundraiser disc for Paul Macbeth Foundation. So from here, we don't want to start twisting this left side in, including this back leg. We don't want twisting forward like this. Instead, we want this shift. Stop here, keep everything back, boom, and then let it all shift in and collect into the pocket here, and then throw out. So, again, the deal for that is on kind of this modern swing here. Or are you more of a, yeah. So there are a couple drills that could work here. Right, you could go here and push back off of this foot and then let this, boom, once this stops, let this continue going, including your left hand. And then you're here, and then you throw, right? And you can feel that throw position by just starting on your right leg. If you were throwing this way, sorry, if you were throwing this way, you just start here. And throw from there. Right. Other option is this kind of hyzer swing to get the timing here. But it's just step, swing, step, swing, and there's no need for the chest to swing open. But step, boom. Side on, throw. Step, throw. Step, let it collect. We're still side on. We haven't pulled this forward. Throw. And then eventually you can work into letting this have this rocking motion here. And this. And even having the weight come back. But yeah, it's mostly about this side-on position. Which is tough, because we want to open. Whoa. But here he is, pocket collected. And then throwing the right arm. Checkers. 216. She was a rocket. She was fast. She literally took off work. She was a rocket. So if we track the walk up here, starting, finishing, right? We've got some collapsing of the pocket happening. Collapsing of the pocket happening. Right, obviously he's trying to throw not towards this house and these cars. It looks like he's trying to throw out this way. Right, so he's stepped across his line too much. Is why he's collapsing his pocket. So if I'm trying to throw to you and I walk across this way, in order to get from here to you, my elbow has to come this way, right? It has to come over here to get back online. Which means I have to pull my elbow too tight to my body. It can't stay out and away from my body to get over here. So when you're working on your line, you need to go to whatever your line is, and you need to work directly back from that line without hitting a chair. And now with your walk up, I can get from here to the line that I need to hit, and my elbow can be away from the body so I don't collapse the pocket. From this angle, let's see how I show you. So if I step, I'm throwing through the door. If I step this way to try to throw through the door, I've got to get here, and now my elbow's tight to get here, right? Or I've got to over rotate into the shot and then throw out after that. Instead, it'd be way better if I lined up to my gap here. Now I've got all this room for the disc to come into, right? So that's a walk-up issue. And until you get the walk-up fixed directionally, you'll continue collapsing the pocket probably, or standing up out of the shot and over-rotating early, like getting your head forward early. So I always love these videos. The coursework is super overlooked. Like, I love when I do this in clinics, I should be able to see, like, based on, like, his eyes are over here, right? His eyes are over here and he's walking up this way. Right, so I know that his line's somewhere over this way. But I should be able to stand behind you and see the line that you're going to throw before you throw it. Because his body posture should be, he should be looking this way and stepping that way. But his body's set here. His eyes sit over here. Bye. Graveyard shift. Graveyard shift. You must be in Europe. Europe. Is that right? they'd be 6 hours ahead in some places. That would only be 7 o'clock. So, Australia? Or something? Where is Boxborough Regency located? What is that? Is that like a Hyatt Regency in Boxborough somewhere or another? Oh, what? Your clinic you are advertising. Mikey, are we advertising a clinic right now? Someone says that we're advertising a clinic. Oh. Never mind. I got it. That's yeah. So Boxborough. Oh, you can't see I can't like poke that. That's where the Disc Golf Expo is at. So that's in Massachusetts by Maple Hill. In Boxborough, Massachusetts, I suppose. And I guess it is a Hyatt Regency. It's funny, I haven't even looked at the venue at all. So we're going to have like a table. We'll have like a table and a throwing net set up. And that's where we'll do like free form reviews at this Disc Golf Expo. It's like $12 to get in. And you get all the expositioners. What does expo stand for? Okay. So this right foot is doing sneaky things, and it's opening up when we just want it to plant. And similar, it's causing you to open up or making it very easy for you to collapse the pocket because of the rotation here. Yeah. So first thing, I was the one who was confused. You didn't cause it. You just uncovered it. It's funny, like Mikey's just setting up clinics. Like, yeah, you're gonna be at Boxborough. Go teach. All right, so this last step needs to be truly a sideways step, and there's just no way around just learning that this versus, sorry, let me square up again. This versus this like opening. If anything, it needs to be the opposite, where the knee goes back a little bit. All right, so it's almost turn it a little bit and step. and now you're set up. Because what's happening now is you're going open, and now your new line, instead of being over here, is now here when you try to swing this thing around, right? Which means that your elbow is going to be similar to the last person that we reviewed. If you're here, now my elbow is going to swing this way from my body and collapse my pocket, right? So this needs to be a closed final step that you wait on planting before you throw. Right? So, step, have your heel a little bit forward perhaps as you go to take this final step. Plant. Now you're staying closed off to the target. You're not trying to open up and throw. It's plant closed, then throw out like in front of your body basically here. And then it can come around. Yeah, it's all opening there. Watch out. Watch out. And then you're helping it into the hit a little bit. Open up. You guys gotta stop giving us these vertical videos. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Wow. What a T-pad. Oh, he's taking a huge annual line? Oh. I didn't know where the basket was going to be, so I thought there was like some huge Anheuser line up and around this tree based on his body position. Oops. Because he's so upright and he's so like leaned back here. This is the body position for like a massive Anheuser. And so now he's got to pull his arm down. You see how his right arm is finishing very low here? When for a hyzer flip, it should be finishing high. Like this. Yeah, you need more tilt for sure. Demonstrate. So tilt is bend at the waist here, and it's super important that we do that so that we can swing upward with the arm. Right, where you're swinging right now is so upright, and then you get your X step a little bit turned. So it looked to me, based upon you being so upright and back, And then here, like this looks like huge anhyzer coming through. That's what this body position tells me, right? Because you can see how over the shot Simon is, like this, for a hyzer flip to flat. Right? He's very over the shot. Right? So the biggest thing I would suggest is throw everything from this tilted or bent over position for a while. And then it's like, well, all I throw is hyzers. Like, first off, that's okay. Like, we know that we need this tilt for sure, right? So we might as well do the right thing, the thing that we know is right, because we're looking at Simon do it, right? So we know that this is correct. So bent over at the waist. And the second thing is if you have the disc down like this, let me see how you have the disc position. Come through here. Yeah, if you have the disc positioned a little bit down like this, and then you're on this backswing where it's a little bit down, and then you roll it to where the nose is down, it's not that much hyzer. Right? So you can start working that to get into a nice tilted swing plane when it's tilted swing plane, and then start getting better form, obviously, and then you can learn how to throw the angles with a better body position, which means that you can learn to throw them further. But yeah, way too upright / leaning back. Yeah, and there's like a really important mindset, I think, that goes with that. Hello? The first one? It's like when we see these pros throw this, which is a baby hyzer flip or flat, and then it turns over at the end, right? It's like, obviously, we need to not let our brain, we want to make sure that our brain doesn't go, when I throw this, it's a hyzer, therefore it's wrong, because that's what your brain's going to want to do. We've got to look and say, oh, Simon throws his flat shots bent over. Drew throws his flat shots bent over. That must be correct. And I just don't know how to do it correctly. So, but in the beginning, like, for sure, tilt has to happen. And then figure out the rest of it. All right. Yeah, that wrist roll is nice. Yo, Mikey, I'm on my last 5.
Let's get it. You want your sandwich?
Oh, you already grabbed it. Okay. No, I was just giving you a heads up in case you didn't grab it and you were going out to grab it.
Nope, I got it.
Okay. Well, disregard then.
Consider it disregarded.
Yeah. I just wanted you to tell me good job. I needed to hear it. I was baiting a compliment. What is happening here? There is something in the water. What? Oh, you guys can't see it. Now you can. Good evening, Germany. Morning, Baltimore. Oh. So you're local. I have not played Camp Hideaway in forever. I feel like getting my tail whooped today. Is that what I feel like doing? Shoot, Sandusky handed it to me today. Just a little Sandusky. I think I'm supposed to speak into this mic over here. So, at some point, for sure, like the brace needs to be happening like the full plant on this foot needs to happen before this arm starts swinging forward. For sure, right? Here's the full plant, and you're already pocket and all that stuff. But there's some upper body weirdness going on here. I played my first round today at 7:30 this morning. Maybe my only round. Not sure. But yeah. So back here, there might be something happening with your grip. I'm not sure from this angle. But for sure, the elbow is like a little up here. It looks like you're doing this. And like you kind of are popping a little bit this way. So instead, what I'd like you to do is put the disc on your sternum here, grab around the backside like this. Right, so you see just a sliver of the disc left from this side view. Right, that's the elbow position in the pocket. Right, that's where you should be. Perhaps the palms down a little bit, but it's a little bit easier when we're just like sandwiching this thing on the chest like this. So we're here. Carson. Have you done any of our tournaments, Carson? But here. And then we slide and we keep that same kind of elbow position. So I'm going to have the disc a little bit down here. So we'll go here, grab the back of it, drop it a little bit like that. Keep that same elbow position in your backswing. And I'm going to actually recommend that you keep it like it's going to be a little bit curled. Your wrist is going to be a little bit curled because of that. Right? And then into the pocket here. And then you're pronating out of the pocket a little bit. You're going from kind of flat and you're dropping it down. It needs to be kind of the opposite. We need to be from here and then we roll it up to that flat. Here, pocket, roll it up in that flat. So we're not collapsing this pocket. That's just like the first thing that I would work on. Because it's doing some, it's popping, it's here, it's going here, and it's kind of like popping in, but it's almost so loosey-goosey that it's getting caught in weird places. Right, so to simplify the motion, it's basically here, it's basically this, and it's also this. Okay. Just wanted to see if I could show any kind of muscle, like that I had any muscle in my arm. But it's here, here, roll. Alrighty, Fusca. Let's see here. So this finger, first off, needs to come underneath the rim. So not up here. It needs to go and tuck it. It doesn't have to be like all the way in for every shot, but up here it's kind of in the way. So even when you're throwing putters, it needs to be curled a little bit. Now for putters, it can stay here. Doesn't need a curl. Yeah, so you don't need here for sure, but on a putter, let's say maybe it's here. What's your other fingers doing? They're kind of curling like that. So it would be there. So it's out of the way. Right? It's not going to get hooked here, but it's not in the way like this either. So here is fine. So you're tilted here. You got good waist spin here. And then you're kind of rotating everything forward. Like the shoulders and the chest all rotates forward. And the hit is now in front of your body. Instead, what we want to do is from here, try to keep this chest more towards us instead of letting this back side rotate. You see how Simon's like using this left arm. He's like trying to keep that backside back so that he's throwing over this direction instead of directly forward. So one, we need to maintain the tilt throughout the throw. We want to stay over our shot here. So from here, when we throw, we want to stay over like this instead of standing up at all and pulling it in front of us and then throwing here. We want to go here. Once we plant and it gets pulled into the pocket, now we're going to cover it and we're going to stay over it from here to the throw out away from your body. Getting this disc away from the body is super important for a couple reasons. One, this is a longer swing path than if we pull it in front of us and go here. Boop, boop, boop. That's not very much of a swing. If we go, but instead, if we're staying over the shot, out here, that's much more of a swing. The other thing is if we pull this in front of us, like this, it's way easier to throw nose up than if we stay here over the shot. Now we can throw nose down over here. Nose down over here turns into nose up over here. Right? Nose down, nose up. So staying over the shot is very important. Staying side on when you throw is very important. So you can practice that even just being on this front leg, staying over it, and throw here and keep your head down. Don't let your eyes go forward. Don't let your eyes pull you open. Questions on that? Yeah, which is why I think starting from this throw here, starting on your front foot where you're already braced, and throwing here, and actually throwing like this, will help you because you're already staying over the shot. There's no reason or really way to continue going forward if you're here. And we've got this back foot behind us like this. Yeah, the shoulders kind of like stop rotating, but they kind of don't start rotating. It's tough to explain. Like when you brace here, it all slides forward, which looks like they're opening, but they're more primarily sliding forward, and then you throw out, and then they open. So yeah. Ali Strom on Discord. Do I have your stuff? But does that make sense, Fusca? Why that drill I think is a good option there. Kind of pulls all those things together. Yeah, I think for now a standstill is good, or even just like starting on your right leg instead of even going, like don't even go back to the left leg. Just start on the right leg, and then you can start rocking from right back to left. Ali Strom, I do not have you on here. But did we have a lesson together? Yeah, you're on a lesson tier. So, which means that you probably didn't submit it in with the code word because you don't have a code word. Because on the lesson tier, we just talk about your form during the lesson. When was our lesson? Definitely not during the day that I was sick. There you are. Yeah. On the 22nd. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I needed to stay in Discord. What was I doing? Silly me. Okay, 251. Man, the sandwich is going to be so good. This is on a cricket pitch. Or whatever they call it. Cricket something or other. So here we need the throw out from the body. You see how the back shoulder here is just kind of like chasing the disc? So there's never really acceleration. Right, if everything goes together into this hit, you're basically just like opening your hand and letting it drop out along the way because there's no acceleration. Right. What we want is like if you don't ever hit the brakes in your car, your coffee like never spills, right? Or your head never comes off the back of the chair. So what we need to do is work on, from this pocket position, work on accelerating the hand out away from the chest. It's got to get out there. So it's right. This acceleration is what we need. So start here and then go ahead and get your wrist curled around behind this. And then from here, go ahead and whip this out this way. Right, so from here, out. What is this? Towel snap drill. Yes, you could certainly use a towel for this. Right, but it needs to be out, away from the chest very quickly. We want to make sure that we're not just rotating everything forward like this and trying to get there. It needs to be this step, boom, and get this thing away from the chest very, very quickly, right? Make sure it gets extended. Sometimes I just practice from here and I just go and throw like that. But you have to make sure no matter what, your arm is straightening out. It doesn't have to get all the way straight here to make this work, and I think probably it's a little healthy if there's some bend in the arm here. But you've got to accelerate it here and pop it out more or less straight away from the chest. So here. And there is a tempo to this thing, which the towel is nice to see. So this doesn't work if you just go, fast, and the towel's just like straight the whole time. It needs to be, it's limp here, and then it goes. Right, so backswing, limp, straight, and then back to limp. So it's slow, fast, slow. So it needs to get away from the chest very quickly. So yeah, I'll put this back. If there's an actual drill called towel snap drill, which would make sense for there to be one, I don't know who does it, but voila. All right, hey, we're going to finish on a forehand today, but we've got one left before that. Okay, let's see. 2, 5, 7. All right. I thought this was a digital sign for a second. I was like, whoa. But it's just red. This looks cool. Looks like you're in a rainforest or something, man. Nice. All good up to this point. Don't you rotate forward. Come on. Come on. Full plant. Oh, almost. So close. So close. Now, you're holding a putter. So this is all with a huge grain of salt. Because if this is 188 with a putter, like, you can break so many rules and just throw, and it'd be a great throw. Approach shots, when it comes to body, like biomechanics, you don't need the most efficient biomechanics. You need to get it close to the basket, right? So, but with that being said, when this plants, we don't want to rotate this chest forward like this. We don't want to just go like this when we plant. What in the world? Oh, seeing different things on my screens throw me off. So you're here, you're coiled, good enough amount of coil for 188 feet. You don't need that much. Right, so from here, we need to plant, and this comes forward. This elbow drives forward here, and then we throw out, away from the body. Right, so from the side view, it's here, we plant, and then this comes into the pocket here, the elbow sliding forward, and then we throw out, away from the body. Look here. How forward the chest got. So you went here, and now the chest is here, and you're throwing basically straight forward to your target line. Again, totally fine for approach shots, which 188 feet for some people is an approach shot. But in that case, I would say that you don't need to really coil hardly at all. So I'm going to treat this kind of like drive form. So with the drive form, we want to make sure that we don't continue turning forward, turning this whole unit and bringing the pocket forward with us, right? The pocket is here. The disc slides into it, and then we pump our hand out. And we stay over the shot. We stay with the pocket here in this space. And then the follow through. Right, and the eyes obviously are moving forward, like since everything's rotating, the head and the eyes and everything are rotating forward here. Right, so your head would be down. You'd have the pocket here, and you'd throw out from it from here with the arm. So, but that doesn't happen if you're throwing approach shots. Bloop. So this is where it would be acceptable, right? He's throwing an approach shot, 150 feet. Very forward, not staying over it. So contextually, those are very different. And you know, don't get the people in the comments who say they're not different. I mean, are you telling me that this is the same as this? Anyways, it's not, but that's okay. You can think it is if you want. All right, we get to finish on a forehand. .303. What a time. All right, let's look at it. Ooh. Why so fast? Are you telling me these are rabbits too? Those are the warmest looking pants I've ever seen. See, this is why I have to have the little stretchies over my wrists on stuff. I can't have this thing going over my hand at the end. It just feels weird when you're trying to throw. Where is our man with the forehand? What are these slow-mos available for people to download? Personal download on Patreon? Say it ain't so. Let's see here. He kind of walks up with everything, doesn't he? We'll take the 300-foot hyzer. Thank you. So here, the foot is actually, the feet are sprawled out a bit too much. Oh, yeah. See that? Let's use the straight line feature that they gave you. You know, you can use that one. So when you open up this knee here, you kind of lock yourself out of the shot a little bit. Hiya. So you want this right foot to be about 90 degrees off of wherever you're throwing. So it'd be like here. So your left foot should probably be over here, like this. So you kind of stepped a little too far this way. Yeah, which makes it so you can't really get your weight onto the left foot effectively. But okay, moving on. I want to see the grip. So hard for me to tell the angle. It looks like the disc is pitched up. Right? Nose up. So first thing, this step needs to be forward, not, let me do it this way. So is this in line? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So this step needs to be forward like this, not forward and like left. You don't want to open here because now you're taking some of your hip out of the shot. It needs to be, the hips are off target here. And now we've got from here to here where we can use the hips to get here. Now the motion with the hand needs to be this. It looks to me like there's a little bit of this here, pitching it up at the end and causing it to wobble because you can't get that much spin. The other thing is with spin, you definitely need the wrist back. I can't tell with your sweatshirt entirely what's happening, but it looks like you've got a straight wrist for the most part, right? Which would end up having you push the disc instead of let the disc lay your wrist back even more, drag, and then snap against that drag at the end, right? So don't open up this step, as in don't step this way. Like don't step left at all at the end. Just step forward with this last step so you can use your hip more. Get your wrist loaded back so you can get more snap and spin on it, and don't carve the wrist up like this at all on that hit. So you have this pure motion here. You are tilted back a good bit, which would lead to throwing upwards a bit. And Andrew, you can tell that he's back a little bit, right? He gets here, but you're even a bit further here, like leaning off the shot. So I'd stay over it probably a little bit more so you could throw forward through the shot a bit more. Those are my thoughts on that. I would love to have a little more info on how this thing comes out. Yeah, but it looks nose up to me for sure. Definitely doesn't have that much spin. Cool. We're done. We're out of here. So we're going to be at the Boxborough Regency in Massachusetts this month, 18th and 19th. We'll be doing form reviews there, meeting some of you guys, whoever's able to make it. These form reviews happen on our Patreon or from our Patreon subscribers at the $15 tier. So if you're interested in these, that's where you sign up. Do not sign up today because it's the 28th of the month, so it's going to charge you today. And then it charges you on the 1st of the month. So you would get charged today, and then I would not do your form review today because I'm done doing form reviews. And then it's going to charge you tomorrow. So you get charged $30 for one form review. That's too much. Just get charged $15 for one form review. Savvy, savvy. All right, friends. Enjoy the rest of your day. We might be doing another live stream after this with some Disc Golf Valley. See ya.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.